Oh, a quick update on the GL1000, 79 GL1000. When I first started this bike, the very first time I started it and checked the voltage that was being put out by the generator, I was getting about, I think about 13.8. That was the first time and only time I checked it, up until a couple of weeks ago when I noticed that the battery, the cap had popped off. I'm like, I'd only started it a few times, but I checked and it was charging at 17 something something, which is not good. Way overcharging. Not just boiled the battery, popped the black cap apart. So I had to put another battery in. But anyway, so I checked the regulator and the rectifier, and your original rectifier looks like this. It converts AC, which the generator creates, into DC, and then sends it out to the voltage regulator, which would be up there, which changes it into the appropriate voltage. This is what the regulator looks like. And after setting for 20-something years, these were not working properly in conjunction like they should. So I just swapped in a universal voltage regulator and rectifier. It's universal, it comes with a full plug, it plugs right in. Now what you have to, apparently, there's supposed to be, well, there is, not apparently, there's a signal wire that sends line voltage, so whatever voltage is going through the system. So it's initiated when you turn the ignition on, and whatever voltage is going through the system is read by what should be a black wire originally here, and here. And there's 3 wires going up to the regulator. There's a yellow, a green. Green is ground, yellow is to the one of the 3 generator, what do you call them? Yeah, can't think of it anywhere. There's 3 phases in the generator, and it basically takes the one and shuts it off. It sends it to ground once it senses appropriate voltage on the black wire. So most of the things I read about it say just plug these new ones in and you're fine, and disconnect the black wire. It's no longer needed. It's all done internally in the regulator rectifier. Still charging at 17.8 volts. Couldn't figure it out. Then I just popped the black wire that goes to the new regulator rectifier, pulled it out of the new plug. This is the new plug, old plug side. This is the male side. This is the one that just comes attached. You just plug it in, pull the black wire out, and this, once hooked up straight to 12 volts to the, well, battery voltage, it's now charging at 14.4. Absolutely proper, well, 14.35. So no more overcharging. So if you do have to replace your regulator rectifier, if you want to go with the aftermarket, and these things are like 45 bucks, you can get them anywhere, eBay, Amazon, and they plug right in. It's an 8-wire system. You only need 7 of them to plug into the original plug. This, I still am not 100% sure how this originally worked, because there were 7 wires on, where is it? Only 7 wires on my original rectifier, 8 on the new one, and 8 on the female side of my original. So this one of these green, I have 3 green, 3 yellow, 2 red. The yellow and red were fine, but I could never figure out why the hell I have 3 green. And plugging into the original, one of the greens didn't go anywhere. There was a dead plug, a missing wire. Well, not missing. You can see on the back there, there's the one empty spot. So why originally it went into there, I have no idea. And green on a Honda is ground, so whatever. Anyway, to get it working, took this black wire right to the battery. So I'm just going to wire it up and hook it up into probably the positive in the charging system there, and everything runs fine now. It starts properly. And I did check also my 3 wires coming out of the stator to make sure that they're the generator, to make sure they're not melted or grounded or whatever. Everything was fine there. And the coil wires, these go up to the ignition coils, the blue and the yellow, these 2 separate ones. Everything was fine there. Grounds were all fine, so I was kind of at a loss as to why it wasn't working properly, but now it working fine. I'll show you the charging voltage. If I can get these to stay without holding them. 14.26 at around 1100 RPMs. It jumps up to about 14.6, 14.5, like 5 something to 6 at like 6,000 RPM. So I'm not too worried about that. I think that's fine. And that was also before I had the headlight plugged in. So it's a little lower now. Part of the reason is I've got a little less draw on this bike with everything being LED except for the headlight. There's a little bit less draw on all of the, on the system. Anyway. Just working on tuning carbs. I might as well give a few tips on this if you want. So the 4 carbs, the air fuel mixture, basically, I have a carb balancer you can see up there, and they've got fluid in it, kind of like a thermometer, and you generally plug all 4 into these little ports here on each intake. But the fluid in mine, I haven't used it for about 3 years. The fluid evaporated, so I don't have enough fluid to measure it properly. So I'm just doing it by ear. Basically, the air fuel mixture screw, which is down there. Can you see it right in front of my finger? And there's a little access hole on here. You go in through up here. Anyway, both sides. Adjust your idle to about 950 to 1,000 RPMs. Start with this one. For some reason, it likes starting with this one. Adjust till you get the best idle, till it's the smoothest and generally the highest idle. Go back to the throttle screw, adjustment screw, which is down under there on your throttle cable. Turn it down till it's back to the 950, 1000. Do the next carb and do the same thing back and forth. Start it 2 turns out, like turn it all the way in without turning it in hard, and then back it out 2 full turns, and then start adjusting till you get the best idle, the highest idle speed, and then check your RPMs again, do the next one, and continue on till you've done all 4. And that'll generally get you in pretty damn close to the right spot. If you get any popping or backfiring from either side, go back to that side and check the carbs on that side and try them again. You'll eventually get it. It's just kind of go by ear type of thing. Anyway, sorry, it wasn't meant to be a tutorial, just kind of a update, but yeah, thanks for watching.